Bosco Campus Vision. I'm Sharon Stanley, Assistant Professor, PG Department of English, Don Bosco College, Kottayam. In this semester, I teach you the paper History of English Language. Dear students, in the fourth semester, you have the paper History of English Language. It encompasses 4 modules. Now, I will explain it in detail. Module 1 consists of topics like nature of language, human languages and animal communication systems, flux in language families, Indo-European family, Germanic group, the descent of English, and its broad characteristics. And Module 2 consists of topics like periods in the history of English language, Old English, Celtic, Latin and Scandinavian influences, effect on grammar and syntax, Norman conquest, French influence, growth of national feeling, adoption of English, Middle English, decay of inflection, loss of grammatical gender, French influence of the vocabulary, dialectal diversity, the rise of Standard English, contribution of major writers to the English, then Chaucer, Spenser, Shakespeare, Milton, then the impact of Bible translations on the English language. Next, Module 3, it consists of topics like Modern English, Renaissance and after, general characteristics of English, changes in pronunciation and grammar, attempts to reform English, spelling through the ages, problems and prospects of spelling reform, development of dictionaries, Dr. Johnson's dictionary, slang and standard speech English, English dialects, evolution of English as a global language. And finally, Module 4 consists of topics like word formation and growth of vocabulary, makers of English, semantics, changes of meaning, widening, restriction, amelioration, radiation, concatenation, synesthesia, metonymy, synecdoche, then metaphors, euphemism, divergence of meaning, some present-day trends in the English language, slang and jargon, varieties of dialects, various Englishes, and influence of the colonies. Today, I discuss 2 topics. Let's move on to the first topic, language definitions. Language is an indispensable part of human life and is as familiar to us as our daily breath. It is language that differentiates human beings from other organisms and make human culture possible. Philologists and academicians from different disciplines have made several attempts to define language. According to A.C. Gimson, a language is a system of conventional signals used for communication by a whole community. According to Noam Chomsky, language is a set of sentences, each finite in length and constructed out of a finite set of elements. This definition is taken from Chomsky's syntactic structures, whose publication inaugurated the movement known as transformational grammar. Next definition by Edward Sapir. According to Edward Sapir, language is a purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means of voluntarily produced symbols. Let's move on to the second topic, characteristics of language. Language can be better understood in terms of its properties or characteristics. Human language has 6 distinct features which are not seen in the communication system of animals. They are displacement, arbitrariness, duality or double articulation, productivity, cultural transmission, and discreteness. First point, displacement. It is the property of human language that allows the users of language to talk about things and events not present in the immediate environment. Human language can refer to the past, present, and future. For example, last night, now, next week, etc. It enables us to talk about things and places whose existence we are not sure of. For example, fairies, angels, heaven, hell, Superman, etc. The property of displacement allows human beings, unlike any other creature, to create fiction. On the other hand, animal communication is designed for the immediate place and time. It lacks the property of displacement. Animal communication is a response to stimulus like food or danger in the immediate environment. Dear students, in short, displacement, which means the ability to talk across time and space. Next point, arbitrariness. There is no natural or direct connection between a linguistic form, that means a word, and the object it represents, that means meaning. For example, the English word tree corresponds with vriksha of Sanskrit or maram of Malayalam. There is apparently no natural relationship between the various sounds that are used by these languages to these sequences and the meaning denoted by them. That is, the relationship between sounds and the meaning is arbitrary. It means it is not based on reason. But in animal communication, there is a clear connection between the conveyed message and the signal used to convey it. It consists of a fixed and limited set of forms, a vocal or gestural. Many of these forms are used only in specific situations, example, establishing territory or at particular times like the mating season. So, or simply we can say that there is no inherent relationship between the words of a language and the meanings or the ideas conveyed by them. For instance, there is no reason why a female adult human being be called a woman in English, Aurat in Urdu, Zen in Persian, and feminine in French. Next point, duality or double articulation. Duality referring to the two systems of sound and meaning. Human language is organized at two levels or layers simultaneously. This property of language is called duality. We have the physical level at which we can produce individual sounds or phonemes. Example, p, a, and t. We also have the semantic level when we combine these sounds in different ways and produce different levels of meaning. For example, we can combine the sounds p, a, and t and form the word pat. We can also make the word tap out of these three sounds. And we know that pat and tap have different meanings. So, with a limited set of distinct sounds, we are capable of producing numerous sound combinations of words with distinct meanings. That means here we have the sounds p, a, and t, a limited set of distinct sounds, and out of that we are capable of producing words like pat and tap. But the communicative signals of animals are fixed and cannot be split up. Next, language is productive and creative. Language has creativity and productivity. The structural elements of human language can be combined to produce new utterances, which neither speaker nor his hearers may ever have made or heard before any listener, yet which both sides understand without difficulty. Language changes according to the needs of society. Human language is open-ended, extendable, and modifiable. It has the capability to continually create new expressions and utterances to describe new objects and situations. Human communication makes infinite use of finite means, but animal communication is a closed system. It has a limited set of signals and cannot produce any new signals to describe novel or new experiences. Next feature, cultural transmission. Human beings inherit physical features from their parents, but not language. We acquire a language in a culture with other speakers and not from parental genes. Cultural transmission is thus the process by which a language is passed on from one generation to the next. For example, an infant born to Malayali parents who live in Kerala and speak Malayalam, who is brought up from birth by English speakers in UK, will have the physical characteristics inherited from its natural parents, but it will inevitably speak English. On the other hand, in animal communication, Only a set of specific signals are used and they are produced instinctively and are not learned. Dear students, the most important point is we acquire a language in a culture with other speakers and not from parental genes. Language is not inherited, it is acquired in an environment. And the last point, discreteness. The sounds used in language are meaningfully distinct. This leads to a distinction in meaning. This property of language is known as discreteness. For example, the sounds b and p are different. When these sounds are used, they are used in such a way that the occurrence of one sound rather than the other is meaningful and causes a difference in meaning. For instance, in the words pat and bat, we can see that a sound and t sound are same. But we can say that the difference in meaning is because p sound and b sound are different or it has distinct meaning. So by combining p sound, a sound and t sound, we have the word pat, and combining b sound, a sound and t sound, we have the word bat, and we know that these two words have different meaning. My dear students, I hope you understand this lecture. Please write the characteristics of language as your assignment. Thank you.